Hello, Oilers fans. Austin here, and we've got a big game tonight. Hockey night in Canada against the Toronto Maple Leafs, and everything's about Toronto. Even the start time of this hockey game, even though it is in Edmonton, this game is at 5 p.m. Mountain, 7 p.m. Eastern. Toronto still gets the desired start time, so good for them. We all know the league centers everything towards them. I'm obviously kidding. I'm joking. Leafs fans, come back. Everyone, come back. Come back. I'm having fun. Can't I tease? Can't we tease and have some fun here? Speaking of teasing and having fun, there was a few people online. I took those Brandon Saad comments from the YouTube section as like that was really Brandon Saad, and I went on Twitter and I was like, "Hey, Brandon Saad confirmed to sign with the Edmonton Oilers." And then like I guess a few people on Twitter thought that it was like the actual real Brandon Saad. So when it was announced that he signed with Vegas, I had a few people on Twitter be like, "You're the worst hockey journalist I've ever seen. People like you suck." And I was like, "Listen, man. I don't know what to say. If you're believing some random YouTube comment, I can't save you from fake news, all right? Like, I'm just having some fun. I actually didn't think anyone would believe that, but I digress. Anyways, we have a game tonight. The Edmonton Oilers, they are playing the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I absolutely always love these games. I get jacked right up for them because there's always something special about Edmonton and Toronto. Not only because the games are super exciting, which they usually are, and they're usually high scoring, and there's usually high events. Sometimes there's fights. We had Nugent Hopkins beat the crap out of Justin Hall that one year. That was pretty cool. But in the most recent match between these two teams, Edmonton gave up a lead. They lost the game in overtime. Darnell Nurse was knocked unconscious by Ryan Reaves, so there may be some retribution here tonight at Rogers Place. I don't know if there will be. I don't know who you even have on the team on Edmonton that could even fight Ryan Reaves. Nobody's in his weight class, and I sure as hell don't want Darnell Nurse to throw the gloves because, you know, he's been playing good hockey this year. The last thing we want is Darnell Nurse to get that brain knocked around again and maybe regress or break a hand. Like, we don't really want that. So it'll be interesting to watch if Ryan Reaves is even in the lineup for Toronto. He doesn't get into the lineup like a whole lot, and when he does, he only plays like 6 or 7 minutes. I think he only has one fighting major all year. That's Ryan Reaves. So it'll be interesting to watch. We'll see if Edmonton has any response for that hit on Darnell Nurse earlier in the year. I think that was back in November. And then for the Edmonton Oilers, they're trying to get back on track. It sounds like there's a bit of a flu bug going around the locker room, and they're trying to get their energy levels up. They're trying to hold on to leads. They had a 2-0 lead to Detroit 10 minutes into that game the other night, and they ended up blowing it. They lost in a shootout in a game where defensively, I don't think either team played great. It was an exciting game to watch. Not exciting for my poor old heart, though, but I am excited for the game tonight. I will be doing a live stream commentary, so that if that is something that you're looking forward to and you want to hang out, please make sure to tune into the live stream commentary during the game. They are so much fun. The chat is amazing to interact with, and I have a cool scoreboard that I'm going to be using. It's going to be great. I cannot wait to show everyone, and without further ado, let's get into the lineups, and then, of course, oh, God, sorry, my voice. I keep losing my voice. We'll get into the lineups and, of course, the game day predictions. But first, please tell me who your player to watch is and tell me what your score prediction is for tonight's game. And as always, if you enjoy these pregame reports, make sure to smash the like button. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Even though I produce a lot of Oilers content, I still love talking hockey. So even if you're not an Oilers fan and you're watching this and you think I'm kind of a goofy little guy, or if you think I'm an annoying guy and you want to watch more, hey, watch more. I appreciate it. The engagement's great. So thank you all so much for the recent views. Now let's get into the lineups. These were the lineups at practice yesterday, and there was a lot of talk about them. I even made a video on them because I was not a big fan of these lines, but we're going to discuss them once again. Top line looks like it's going to be Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, and Corey Perry. Now, on paper, it's not the worst line. I would just prefer Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid to be split apart, not on the same line. However, the team is looking for some offense. I think they're due for one of those explosion of offense type games. Edmonton has had an absolute butt ton of chances lately that they have not been converting. And I think putting McDavid and Draisaitl together, I think they're hoping to just get the goal scoring moving, and hopefully that, creates like a snowball avalanche style effect, and the whole team can kind of be pulled along by those two. And I also believe McDavid is not playing at 100%. He looked pretty off against Detroit. He flubbed that 2-on-1 with 10 seconds left in overtime with Evan Bouchard. And then yesterday after practice, during the media scrum that he had, I don't like to speculate, but he did sound sick. He sounded under the weather. It's like a few people in the comments yesterday. You noticed that maybe my voice is a little off. Maybe I'm feeling under the weather too. There's stuff going around. It's not fun to deal with. However, you still got to play through it. So that top line, we'll see if they're able to produce. Corey Perry, he's been great all season long. I don't like him up there as like a permanent fixture. But if it's just for one game, if it's just to be up there and create issues for whoever they line match that line with, whether it's the Marner line or whoever they end up line matching with, I'm okay with Corey Perry there for now. On the second line, we have Zach Hyman, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and Victor Arvidsson. Now, the makeup on that line on paper is good. Arvidsson and Hyman, they're good along the boards. They're Energizer bunnies. They just go, 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 go. They're going to hound the puck down until they get it, and then they're going to find someone that's open and try and shoot it and score. Well, at least RNH and Arvidsson will find someone that's open. I don't remember the last time Hyman has connected like a tape-to-tape pass, but that's not his job. His job is to get in front of the net, have a puck hit him, and go in. So we'll see how that second line looks. I know Nugent-Hopkins has been playing better as of late, so maybe he can center his own line. I think Nugent-Hopkins at this point in his career, he still is better suited as a winger, so that'll be an interesting line if it holds up at puck drop. Third line, Vasily Podkolzin with Adam Henrique, Connor Brown. Again, this is a good line on paper. We'll see how it plays. Podkolzin hasn't been producing a lot of offense. Connor Brown has been really struggling. Get a guy like Podkolzin on there. Energy line. Him and Connor Brown might have something that they can work with. And then Adam Henrique, he's kind of that skilled guy. He's the guy that can maybe put the puck in the net if they can find him in an open spot. So on paper, not totally against that line. And then the fourth line, poor Jeff Skinner. Poor Jeff Skinner stuck on that fourth line. He's with Matthias Janmark and likely Kasperi Kapanen with Noah Philp coming out of the lineup. Noah Philp, of course, has been struggling on the faceoffs. He has been struggling his last couple games at the NHL level, so nothing wrong with sitting the kid for a game. Just, watch from above and just clear your head a little bit before you get back in the lineup. But for Jeff Skinner, man, he's scored in 2 straight games. I thought his last game against Detroit was his best of the season in terms of his effort level on the back check, on defense. He scored a goal. I don't know what else Jeff Skinner can do to earn a top 6 ice time slot. But for now, he's on the fourth line. Obviously, if he plays well, I would really like to see him get a shift or two with McDavid or Draisaitl. But Chris Knobloch all season long seems to be allergic to giving him that opportunity. For Jeff Skinner, though, at least he is starting to produce in his limited role, so that's really good to see. On defense, we'll have Nurse with Bouchard, Ekholm with Klingberg, Kulak with Emberson, and then Stuart Skinner in net. Stu had a big game against Detroit. Couldn't stop a puck in the shootout, but I don't count shootouts. They mean nothing to me. The defense pairs, of course, will be moved around. Ekholm will likely be with Bouchard for several shifts. Nurse with Klingberg for several shifts. Kulak will also be with Nurse. They do switch the defense pairings around a lot. But this is kind of what we were looking at practice yesterday, which I'm super cool with. It sounds like Ekholm and Klingberg are both under the weather as well. Like I said, there's a ton of stuff going around the room for some reason. And defensively, hopefully the Oilers can just hang on, because I don't think Toronto is a great forechecking team. If you can limit their rush chances, I think you have a good chance of eliminating Toronto's offense. In saying that, though, let's get into the pregame predictions and stats. The Toronto Maple Leafs this season, they are 30-19-2. They are 4-6-0 in their last 10 games. They've lost 3 straight in regulation. They're trying to get back in the win column. They're going to be a desperate team coming into Edmonton tonight. The Oilers have to be ready to go right from puck drop. Expected goals for the Toronto Maple Leafs based on natural stat trick. They rank 16th in the league, 50.21%. Their power play ranks 15th at 21.4%. Their penalty kill ranks 13th at 80%. They score just over 3 goals per game, which ranks 13th. They give up 2.88 goals per game, which ranks 13th. Their Corsi 4 is 49.68%, which ranks 17th in the league. And their shots for percentage ranks 12th at 50.66%. The Toronto Maple Leafs, if you look over on all their stats, they are a middle-of-the-road team. And they've been a middle-of-the-road team all season long. One of the things that I have not shown is their goaltending and their goals saved above expected. Joseph Woll and Anthony Stolarz have been amazing for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Their goaltending has won them a ton of hockey games that they likely shouldn't have won, and now it seems like the team in general is coming back down to earth a little bit, and under Craig Berube, they play a certain style. It's not the same way that they were playing under Sheldon Keefe or Mike Babcock in terms of the expected goal generation, the offensive generation. They are a team that is harder to play against, but they don't generate as much, and they rely a little bit too much defensively and on their goaltending. If you're the Edmonton Oilers, if you can establish your forecheck early, and if you can attack them off the rush and get on them early, get a goal or two, and knock them down just a little bit, Toronto is a very beatable team. But that's not to take any disrespect away from them. They are still a good team with amazing pieces. They still have Mitch Marner. Austin Matthews looks like he's being healthier. He has 20 goals in like 30 games or something. So the Oilers still have to be careful here. This is still a good team for Toronto on paper. Edmonton's got to play their game. Speaking of the Oilers, they are 32-15-4. They are 7-2-1 in their last 10 games. Their expected goals for ranks second in the NHL, 55.28%. Their power play ranks 7th at 24.4%. Penalty kill climbing up now. It's at 20th. It's at 78%. Goals for per game ranks 6th at 3.29. Goals against per game now ranks 6th at 2.69. Corsi for ranks 3rd, 54.05%. And shots for percentage ranks 2nd, 54.85%. My players to watch tonight are Mitch Marner and Connor McDavid. And of course, score prediction, as I mentioned a little bit earlier in this pregame report, I think the Edmonton Oilers are due for an offensive explosion. I think we're going to have a fun one at Rogers Place. I think Leafs fans and Oilers fans are going to be cheering all night. I'm going to say 7-4 Oilers. Let's have a fun up and down, back and forth, crazy high event game, and then come out on top and talk about it afterwards, because after the game, I will have my post-game fan reaction, of course. But like I said, what are your thoughts? Who are your players to watch? What is your score prediction? What do you think of the new look lines for the Oilers? Do you think those are going to be the lines once puck drops? Or do you think Chris Knoblauch is just kind of playing around with it and trying to get Craig Berube to overthink his lineup before he submits his lineup card? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section below. And as always, thank you all so much for tuning in, Oil Country. Your support means the world. Make sure to smash that like button and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not yet subscribed. And of course, tell someone that you love them and fight like a kid. Fight like Ben. Let's go, Oilers. I'll see you for the live stream tonight. Take care.